Hello everybody, thank you so much for clicking on this video. This will be my review for Morbius. There will be no spoilers in this video. So I watched the latest Sony Spider-Man spin-off universe movie Morbius, and with Morbius we found Jared Leto playing Dr. Michael Morbius, a biochemist with a rare disease that affects his blood, spending his entire life trying to find a cure, eventually leading him down the path to experiment with bats, granting him abilities at a major cost, and that's all I can say without giving any spoilers away. Now, it's no secret that if you are following the news on this movie, I heard some things about it, some awful things. And I'm not just really just saying this, I was like, it's not that bad. Now, I'm not going to butcher you guys and telling you that the movie is great, because it's not a great movie. Now, I said that for the most part it was enjoyable. Now, is the movie a little silly? Yes. It's a little cheesy sometimes. Yes. And it takes itself seriously, where it falls flat instead of feeling dramatically way when the movie thinks it is. Yes. And it's a rush and choppy at times. Yes. Now, I mean, I didn't think that the movie was rushed like Venom Let There Be Carnage. But however, there are plenty of scenes that was obviously cut out of this movie, because those scenes was in the trailers, and none of those scenes are in the actual movie. So I think that there is a cut where more breathable and less non-stop infodump back-to-back scenes version of these scenes out there. Now, I went to see this movie with rock bottom expectations, and I'll say that some of the action was cool, and the visual effect sometimes was great. Other time was like alright. But when the visual effects were great, they were really arresting. So I think it's fine. It's enjoyable. I don't think the movie is horrible like people are making out to be. But it's just not really a great movie. Now, let's talk about the end credit scenes. Now, the end credit scenes of this movie are ridiculous. A total hack job. It's a shame that is the way the movie ends. And I won't give any spoilers away, but I think there are scenes in the actual movie that was obviously cut and helped the post credit scenes, and without that context, it just feel like okay. And I'll say that also the two post credit scenes seems like one scene, but they cut her in two to have two post credit scenes, so it's very weird. Now, I'll say that the movie really saw me on the character. Now, I know Morbius because of the comics and the Spider-Man connection, and he's really more of an anti-hero. And I'll say that the living vampire is cool. Now, I really appreciate the science elements here. I think it worked for me. I believe the science of how Morbius creates living vampires, and I believe Leto as a talented geneticist who is crazy enough to do this. Now, as a vampire movie, I think for me this is a modern scientific take on vampire movie, and I think it's exciting. So let's talk about the cast, and let's start with Jared Leto. Now, Jared Leto has been looking for a while for this big franchise to anchor his career. It hasn't been going so well for him, but this role really fits him well, and I'm a fan of Leto's work. I think he's really great in We Crash and also House of Gucci, despite how so many people hated his performance in that movie. I really think that he really needs strong guidance from people behind the camera, and Jared Leto really elevates the material in every scene of this movie. And I'm even more excited for the Tron movie that he's making. Now let's move on to Matt Smith. Now, come on, it's Matt Smith. It's always a total treat. Now, very little of him has shown in the trailer, and it's a really joy to see Matt Smith cut loose in this movie, and in a really relish role. And he's basically the co-star in this movie. Now, let's move on to Adria Arjona. So, I think that she did a nice job here, and true to the comments, there are hints that she will not stay as Morbius co-worker, fellow doctor, and love interest for long. So yes, I was very happy about that. And I mean, I feel bad that she was mostly the love interest in this movie, but she did a nice job, and there are hints on some more to come, and I really hope that we get to see that. Also, we have Jerry Harris, and always a welcome addition. I love that guy. Now, let's talk about Tyrese Gibson. Now, if you remember how happy Tyrese Gibson was when he was signed on this film and to get a multi-picture deal, but his artificial arm is gone. It just has two regular arms. There was a scene that I was like, he's supposed to have a bionic arm here, but I look and it was no, it's just his regular arm. Now I think they cut it out because we saw him filming with it, and it's actually in the trailers. So I think they choose to do that. And I mean, maybe this movie was really down substantially, because I think they were right to do it, because however they end up, it really was. But Tyrese, he's very good as FBI agent, true from the comics. But Anne Madrigal has all the jokes as his partner, and easily steals every scene they are in. Now, I want to talk about the director, and Daniel Espinosa. I have been a fellow, or I have seen a few of his movies, but I was never like, who is this Daniel Espinosa? But I think that this is one of the better ones, for better of his movies here. So big shout out to him. Now, what I like about movies is I can totally see him as both as an fighting and helping Spider-Man as an anti-hero, and either is Andrew Garfield, a new Miles Morales in the near future in a Sony movie, and I will be excited to see that. So that's my review of Morbius. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the movie? If you like it, if you didn't like it, please consider subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.